Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 7:03 a.m. and just to be straightforward with you, I'm a little extra excited to go fishing today. This happens to me from time to time, but as you guys may or may not have seen, our last 4 videos were our annual Clear Lake trip videos, our 9th year up at Clear Lake with the gang. As always, was a ton of fun. A long week though, don't get me wrong. That's 5 straight days of fishing, getting up early, staying up way too late, having way too much fun. It's all worth it, but man, it is exhausting. You could probably tell by the way I looked in the last video. It's a tiring week for sure. But for me personally, not that I'm complaining, I'm just telling you how it is. After those kind of weekends, those long weekends, especially Clear Lake, it's a long week of editing, spending a lot of time at the computer, getting all those videos done, posted. I think I spent about 5 or 6 days straight in a row after Clear Lake just to bang out all those videos. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's the trade-off. I still love doing it, but when you edit for that long, for me personally, the itch, the desire to get back out on the water, especially when you're looking at fishing footage, it's that much greater. And these days in particular, my first day back out on the water, the editing is done, the videos are ready to go live. You guys have already seen them, of course. I just got that extra, I don't know, pep in my step to get out there and wet a line. One of my patrons actually asked a great question. I posted that Q&A in the minivan video when I took the minivan out, but one of my patrons, Shane, asked like, what's my release or kind of like my go-to thing to do after a long day of editing or a long week of editing? Well, I told him, as silly as it sounds, it's fishing. So I don't know, I'm just letting you guys know I'm a little extra excited to go fishing today. But yeah, I just pulled up to B&W Resort on the California Delta, of course. Sun just came up, a little cooler, a little chillier for the first time this morning. We're still getting pretty hot temperatures midday, but you can tell it's that time of year. Just getting to fall. A lot of the boats that I passed this morning weren't bass boats, they're actually salmon boats. Salmon season is upon us. School's back in session, seeing school buses. There should be a little bit of a different bite out here. It's actually one of my favorite times to fish. You can get on some fun topwater, some fun punching, moving baits. You might even catch the bonus striper, or shoot, maybe a bonus salmon. I don't know, but I am going to quit yapping. I'm gonna get the kayak loaded up on the dolly today, going simple, no trailer. Get geared up, drop her in the water, spend a day out on the Delta after a long week of editing, just going fishing, and as always, taking you guys with me, and we'll see what happens. Oh my god, I got bit right there. You know the silly things you do, like when you're on your way to your first spot and you just pick up a bait because you can't help yourself, and 99 out of 100 times you don't get bit. You just got bit on the double buzzer. Well, I guess I gotta stop here. Just launched. Tide is a ripping. Outgoing tide. I'm actually not loving this tide, but kind of nowhere else to go to get away from this pretty much low tide we're gonna have in the next hour or so. So I did pick an area where I know there's some grass flats that will still have some water above them. We can throw some top water, maybe punch a little. But yeah, look at that second cast with a double buzz. Had, I don't know, probably not too big, but had a fish come eat it. This thing was a moving too. Just they expose themselves. It's half the battle, knowing they're there. Got one. There we go. Yeah, see, I think there's fish here. They're just maybe a hair shy. I mean, one came up with a buzzer, but now we got a little slobber knock fish. Not a big one, but that's kind of like a fall fat delta fish right there. Little belly shirt. Yeah, he's got a crawfish in the back of his throat. Okay, well, I'm okay with that. That was like, what, second cast with the slobber knocker? Another one. Dude, bite's good right now. Right across from the ramp, too. Not any giants, but fun fish. They're feeding right now. This could be the bite window. As we always talk about in the Delta, those bite windows can be crucial. This is a bite window right now. Strong outgoing tide. These fish are setting up and munching. Little guy? No way. That's crazy. That is maybe the smallest fish I've ever caught on the Jaywalker. He actually ate it too, though. That's the funny thing. Oh my goodness. That's how crazy bass are. Like, what were you thinking with this bait right here? The bait is literally bigger than the fish. Finally made my way to some of these grass flats. They're really just like island tips or points that are underwater, and where the low tide starts to really mat up and there's spaces or openings, and obviously the grass continues to extend out, and these fish will sometimes get on them, or at least sit in them, and you can pick some off, some good ones too. Not that one, but low tide, they're a good spot to fish. Everything on the bank kind of gets choked out of water, and just move to this kind of stuff and you actually can fish a bait productively. The right stuff right here. I can see standing up these dark patches just under the water. This is where they should be sitting, you'd think. Perfect, exactly what I want. This stuff right here, this depth, this tide, should call out a good one. There you go. Up against the rocks. Thank you, sir. Finally got another bite. One slobber knock. Another one. Oop, there's another one right there. Yeah, they're grouped up, I think. Alright. Current breaks. There's definitely more over here. Definitely more. Yeah, got a bit right there. Probably some little ones, but they're bites. Got another bite. Come on, fellas. Yeah. Good one. They're similar size. It's a great time of year to fish the Delta. Just these fish just get meaty. I feel like all four of the fish we've caught so far have been the same size. Oh, we gotta try this guy. Gotta try this guy. A little rig fish. Okay, there's our striper, right? I knew it was coming. Monster. First time using this reel. It's the new Revo Beast. I think I got another bite. This thing is buttery smooth. I'm liking the bigger handles too. I think we found the nursery of striper. Hey, they're bites, man. I like bites. Yeah, yeah, on them. Got both of the baits. Kind of fun. There's a gang of them over here. Hey, a little bigger. A little bigger. It's a little surprising that none of these guys are coming up and eating topwater. I thought that was a bigger one for a second. Oh, it's a double. Oh, double. Well, now it's a single. That's always fun. Actually, these are a little better too. Relax. A little bigger. That's a fun bite. See, we're right next to the grass flat in the channel. Not even in the channel. It's like on the border between this grass flat and the channel. Transition zone, basically. It's a perfect time to do it. No graph today, keeping it simple. That's why I came to the Delta, really. Just because I wanted to throw what I enjoy throwing, shallow stuff, not having to worry about, you know, graphing, deeper fish, structure, whatever. So just keeping it super simple. You guys know what that means. The old deeper unit is always good to have when you decide to ditch the bigger electronics and you just want something portable. I know you guys have heard me talk about this unit for a while now, but it's handy, it's efficient because, again, it takes up no space. Just goes on the gear track like so. You just dip it in the water. You just take your phone, connect to the app, and go boat. So right now in the middle of the channel, and actually it's not as deep as I thought it was. Okay, but now we're in 8 foot, and again, good for water temp, 74.5 degrees. So the Delta is cooling down. We can still see there's some grass kind of on that 6 to 8 foot range, and then once we dip into the channel, so now I guess I'm getting closer to the deeper channels. They are in a little bit deeper water than I thought. I'm not trying to say deeper as much as I can either, just so you know. All right, so yeah, the channel is looking like it's consistently about 10 foot right in the middle. Like, this is the stuff I was thinking these fish would be on, like the bass, not really the striper. But if we just move over like 15 feet, and now the tide is getting so low, you can see the grass topping out. This was the stuff that I was thinking would really hold these fish, and it still may. These bass might move into these shallower flats eventually, but look at that transition. We went from 10 to 4, and now we're in the grass flat. So it's quite shallow up here, of course, but that's why I thought on the low tide especially, and it's a good spot for these bass to hang out. But right now we're in the zone of the striper, apparently, out in this 10-foot channel. Probably catch a few more, just for the fun of it. Like I said, I'm not shying away from any fish or any species that bites today. But yeah, deeper, good stuff. I know they're coming out with a new model this fall, winter, I want to say. It's going to be called the Deeper Max. So I'm looking forward to actually trying that new unit out, seeing some of the new features. As mentioned before in videos like this with the deeper unit, you don't have to have a kayak. You can put it on a boat. You can use it from the bank. Just tie it on a rod. If you're a bank angler, you can throw this out into your favorite pond, your favorite body of water, and see how deep you're actually fishing, some of the stuff underneath that you wouldn't otherwise know. And like we always do, if you guys are interested in this unit, I will link it in the description with a code if you want a little discount, save a little money. But let's keep fishing. Maybe whack a few more striper and then go back looking for the green ones. I didn't even see it. Oh my god. That's the first time I've missed like a fish actually eating the frog. Didn't hear it, didn't see it. It was in the shade. What in the world? Come on, I'm making a cast where I think there should be a fish. You'd think I'd be ready. Dude must have just slurped her up. It's a magic trick. That fish was under a tree, but what was he next to? The rocks. These son of a guns are on the rocks. That's weird. It's just odd to me because of the tide, with it being so low. I mean, it's finally incoming now, so our water is rising, but weird that they're still hugging the rocks. Usually after that tide drops, they suck out with it, but they're seemingly still hanging out right on the banks. God! Oh my god! What a cluster of frog fishing today. Fudge! That's a good one, man. Does that go in the fails of 2025? I think it does. I mean, we still got her in the boat. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, there's a nice one. Poppin' Swamp Lord. I was just thinking, Literally, it always happens. I was just thinking, moving on, trying somewhere else, but got a bite on it, a good one. I guess I gotta keep throwing it. Hopefully no cast montages. You know what that means. Ooh, that's a big one. Another big one. Oh my God, no. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Got the Sacramento pikeman. Absolutely choked the frog too. Dude, I thought that was a giant. I mean, it kind of is a giant, just not the giant I was thinking. Dude, that's wild. He choked the frog too. Straight up chokage here. Down his, oh, well, that works too. All right, buddy. Get out of here. Holy smoke, what a bite. This has been a very weird day so far. You know? Very strange. Oh, I got one. The weird things that I just keep happening. I mean, come on now. Is that for real? Poor fish. How is this fish alive? Alright, let's let him go. Poor fella. I mean, he's got the jaw, the underbite. Amazing, he can actually efficiently or successfully eat anything. Yeah, I guess he can. He got my bladed jig. It's been strange but fun so far. It's been a fun day. Just about 12 o'clock, a little after 12. Tide is continuing to rise. Man, I just thought we'd get a lot more bites on the frog in the trough area, right up against the bank and the weed line, or between the bank and the weed line. Not getting as many as I thought. Just kind of hard when you got a big grass mat between you and the bank to throw, you know, like a bladed jig or something moving underwater, because you're gonna always come back with a big hunk of grass. Whereas the frog, I mean, just came back with grass there, but weedless for the most part. Oh, there was a fish right there. Oh gosh, I just touched my button. Okay, well, I don't think that's a coincidence, folks. And I think, I could be wrong, I think there's finally a punch bite over here. I missed that, dude. That was my fault. I missed that one too, didn't I? Is he still on? He is still on. Not a half bad one either. Oof. Punch fish, baby. Come here, cheese mouth. Yeah. All right. Punching the old cheddar. It's always fun. All right. Thank you, sir. Fun one. Yeah, it's one of those weird deals, like this area, this flat over here, it's just so choked full of grass, I almost didn't even come up and fish it. Just, I mean, it's crazy shallow, but doesn't matter. It's hot, sun's up, there's some cheese mats, and some of these bass have clearly gravitated underneath them. Gotta think about how I want to try to catch them now though. Could throw like a mat frog and see if anybody comes up through it. That'd be fun. Just don't know if it's too thick for them to do that. Yeah, that was cool. Another one on that same patch, dude. That was the same patch I caught the other one. Another good one. Same patch. Man, that's a fun bite. These are better fish too. As pessimistic as it sounds, I usually don't expect to get bit a second time on the same patch like this short after. It's only been like a couple minutes since we had that other one. Figure it disturbs everything and they gotta reset, but maybe not that one. If anyone's wondering about the color of this, usually, you know me, I usually like the green pumpkin greens, the brown purples, the green pumpkin purples. But in the fall time, or this time really, I've noticed in the Delta especially, whoa, big old carp, the craws get real bright red, or at least I can see them, and they're just super bright red. So, I don't know, that's why I picked this color. Oh man, they're there. Couple of hops. Dude, they are in this area. Oh. Oh man, dude, this is one heck of a bite. Cheese mats with toolies, one heck of a bite. Oh, man, that's a solid one right there. That's a real nice one. Real solid. All right, nice fish, baby. Big old melon. Big old melon. Alrighty guys, just pulled in the driveway. It is 4 p.m. Whew, long day, strange day, very strange day. I think I mentioned that a couple of times today. We had some really weird moments today, more than I can remember in any one particular trip all year. Yeah, got started this morning, hit the Delta B&W launch. Haven't been there in a long time, but also kind of figured we'd try somewhere new. A little change of scenery, but yeah, launched around 7:30, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do this too. I had an idea as to where I wanted to go first thing. It was a little bit of a run, as I typically do. I kind of see the water, I get the itch to make some casts, and while I'm still on the motor and actually going at a pretty good clip, I pick up a rod and start making casts. 99 out of 100 times, I don't get bit. Well, today, I was doing that, picked up the double buzz. It was the second cast. Something came up and ate it. I missed it, but that made me stop, slow down, pick that area apart. And I'm glad I did, because wouldn't you know, there were some fish setting up, they were feeding. Got a few on the bladed jig. Solid fish, no giants, but solid fatties. So a nice way to start the day. Continued on, I did eventually go to my one stretch that I wanted wanted to fish, or these particular areas that I wanted to fish. Tide was still going out. I think actually we're at a low tide in the first hour of fishing this morning. Really strange tide table, not particularly my favorite, but because I knew we were going to be on a low tide, I wanted to fish grass flats, or more specifically islands that had an extension of a grass flat. And at low tide, they'd be just subsurface or just on the surface, and they were sparse. They're sparse, they're typically sparse, they have pockets, they have holes, and you can usually work top water, bladed jig, spinner baits, any kind of swim bait and get bit, because I do feel like on low tide in these areas, that's where a lot of the fish will gravitate. Well, that didn't really work out. I tried multiple throughout the morning, knowing that I might have to just kind of get lucky and find the right one that fish were pulled up on, and I don't even think I got a bite fishing any of those flats. We tried top water, we tried the buzz bait. Oh wait, let me correct myself. I did catch one 1.5 inch bass, but we're not going to count that one. But yeah, I was trying a lot of baits, spinner baiting, and nothing. Really, the only thing I could find that was consistent was fishing right up against the bank where there was rock, where there was a little bit of a trough between the rock and the grass line, kind of like a trench if you've never seen one, where there's a little bit deeper water, and throwing a bladed jig up in those areas. And the fish were grouped up too. A couple areas I found multiple fish, multiple bites off one little stretch. So that was at least something, some solid fish on the old slobber knock. Now, the one thing that I did kind of get on, it wasn't the grass flat, but it was right next to the grass flat. It's actually when we dropped the deeper into the water, picked up the A-rig, and we're starting to catch some striper, some baby striper, but they're still fun to catch. They actually hit the A-rig pretty hard despite how small they are. Did eventually decide to go to the other side of the channel. There was one big isolated tree casting a big shade line. Decided to pick up the poppin' frog. It was kind of a weird thing because I threw the frog under the tree. Couldn't really see it, but apparently I had a fish on. Didn't even hear it. The fish must have just very discreetly slurped the frog in, took it under, and when I started reeling in, something just kind of felt funny, so kind of half-heartedly set the hook, and wouldn't you know, there was a bass on the other end with a frog in its mouth. Kept going with the frog, got a few more bites on it, one of which was definitely going to make the blooper reel for 2025. Threw the frog right by some toolies, twitched it a few times, actually on the pause, something came up, smashed it, set the hook, rod came out of my hand, but luckily I set the hook hard enough to get that big frog hook in the fish, was able to get the fish in, swing it in the boat. Quality fish, probably big fish of the day, maybe 3.5, 4 pounds. Little sloppiness in landing that fish, but we did, so they all count the same, I suppose. And then we had another tree that I came up on, casting a big shade line. I threw the frog right between the bank and the grass, right in that trough area. Something came up, crushed it, set the hook, and I thought for probably a solid 3-4 seconds that we had like 6, 7, 8 pounder on. Unfortunately, when we got it out of the grass to the boat, we saw it was a Sacramento pike minnow. I think that's actually the first pike minnow I've ever caught on a frog. Oh well, a big fish eating the frog. I really can't complain. And after that, the bites seemed to slow down. I continued to try those grass flats, kind of check them, punched a little, kept throwing some top water, mixed in the bladed jig, which we did end up catching one of the weirdest looking bass I've ever caught, completely missing his top lip or snout, whatever you want to call it. I have no idea how that happens to a bass. Apparently he's still thriving and able to munch, so good for him. And after that, really, it was slow. I mean, it was slow the last part of the day. I was trying different things, nothing was happening. I did make my way all the way to the launch, about to pack it up, but it just kind of didn't feel right. It felt like I was going in a little too early, so I made my way a little further down where I saw a bunch of cheese, bunch of toolies in the distance, tried frogging it, tried some top water, nothing happened, so I picked up the punch rod, saw a nice cheese mat around some toolies, flipped in there, and really not expecting a bite. Got a bite, of course. Goofed that one up, but it was a fish, and that was an important fish because that fish kind of revealed what those fish were doing or relating to in that particular area. They were under those cheese mats with the toolie combination. Toolies, to me, the roots, bases of them kind of give a little bit of a deeper depression or hole. I mean, you can see when you flip in there, there's a little bit more depth in there compared to other areas. So the combination of the toolies with the cheese on top, these fish were just sitting right underneath them. Had to play with the bait a little bit, kind of yo-yo it up and down, really let these fish find the bait. But man, what a fun bite, what a bonus at the end of the day before packing it in. Actually caught some really nice fish, probably the better fish of the day doing that, punching that cheese. There wasn't a whole ton of it, so I did cycle through it a few times. Seems like when I let it rest and would come back, I'd be able to get another bite or two. So yeah, I mean, there were some solid fish in the area, and what a fun way to end the day. Of course, there was some sloppiness. I lost my fair share as well, but oh well, you can't win them all. But that was the day, guys. That was the very fun, strange, but refreshing day that I needed after spending a lot of time, basically a week, looking at a computer screen. That's what I was hoping for, just a day out on the water, getting the line wet, catching some fish, which is always like my reset, my meditation. It did the trick. I feel good now. I'm rejuvenated. The mind is clear. Great day today. Great day. Really fun day out on the California Delta. I don't know how many of you guys are starting to maybe hang it up for the year or slow down your fishing, but I'll tell you what, right now now, this fall transition can be one of the most fun times to fish, in my opinion, because you can catch them in a lot of fun ways, whether it's on frogs, topwater, punching. I mean, the bite can be really good, so maybe don't hang it up just yet, because like today, it can be a lot of fun. But that's it, guys. Like I said, I'm home. I pulled in, gotta unload the stuff, get the kayak on the cart, and get ready for another tournament. I won't spoil what tournament it is, but I'll just say I hope I'm not a no-limit soldier for this event. We'll leave it at that. But as always, guys, I thank you for watching, for coming along, and I will see you guys in the next one.